speak to Brian Williams in Boston. He's a professor of Islamic history at the University of Massachusetts at Dartmouth. Good to have you with us. So it's been a year since the French president announced the fight against so-called Islamic separatism. What's been the impact of that on the Muslim community in France?
I think they already felt discriminated against. They felt marginalized. And I think this is an outdated policy. They're trying to depict mosques as somehow hotbeds for terrorism. And certainly in the past, that may have applied. For example, the Al-Qaeda attack on America was planned in a mosque in Hamburg. But now we know that most radicalization takes place online. So I think this is misguided. And certainly it sends a message to the millions of Muslims in France that their government seems to see mosques as a threat.
So the goal, according to Macron, was to reduce radicalism and what he calls Islamic propaganda. Is that a goal that's being achieved?
I don't think so. Once again, I think the real battle against this sort of ISIS-style do-it-yourself propaganda of the sort that did lead to the attacks in Paris by Islamic jihadists who killed 130 people, or the truck attack in Nice, where online radicalized jihadists killed 86. That is found on the cyber web, not in the mosques. So, there may be some mosques. There was one mosque where an imam was found to be preaching jihad, but that's few and far between. I think this is more of a political maneuver. Macron is trying to depict himself as cracking down on Islamic radicalism to outmaneuver Le Pen. She's a right-wing xenophobe. So I think it has more to do with domestic politics on the part of Macron, trying to do tokenism to look like he's strong on radicalism than on any real tried and true practice about de-escalating violence or cracking down on real terrorism, which of course comes mainly from ISIS's online websites.
Those policies of Macron have been criticised by civil rights activists, by NGOs. There have been calls for the UN Office of Human Rights to take action against France for its anti-Muslim offensive. Do you think international pressure will be brought to bear on Macron, or is it being brought to bear on Macron?
The main pressure seems to come from Erdogan in Turkey. He sees this as a chance to boost his credentials as a defender of Islam. Recall last year he called for a boycott of French products. So there is pressure from France, but Erdogan's call for boycott didn't resonate with many people. It didn't really work. The European Union won't come out against him. I don't think America will. So I don't think there's going to be real pressure on him. And once again, there are over 2,600 mosques in France, and only 60 have been closed down. So I don't think it's going to be depicted abroad as a war on Islam. I don't think it really is either. I think it's more of a tokenism, small efforts to do symbolic gestures to show that Macron is trying to go after a few mosques. So I don't really think there's going to be a massive wave of pressure on France to stop this policy of closing these 60 mosques.
Good to speak with you. Professor Brian Williams there, thank you.